Pressione il numero da chiamare, mi raccomando, solo i primi 10, nome, cognome e numero di telefono e ci vediamo il 6 maggio.
The QE2, that floating monument to the pampered super-rich, is also simply another method of transport. In this case, the Cure have to be in New York for the start of their American tour, and flying across the Atlantic is not an option.
Yeah, it's just because we did so much flying, you know, a few years back, and particularly when we went to Argentina, we went on some really dodgy flights, and like the bits of the plane would be falling off, and like we'd come out the other end, even though like the flight may be only an hour, we came out the other end and we were actually physically dripping with sweat and like shaking, and like we just thought it wasn't worth it in the end to put us.
The whole process of flying is really depersonalising anyway. If you do, like, if you go on, we did an American tour in 1986 or something, and you're just constantly like going to an airport, getting on a plane, spending time on the plane, getting out at an airport, getting in the car, you don't ever see anything.
Their appearance does raise a few eyebrows in the QE2 posh staterooms.
A couple of double takes and people sort of step out of the lift and go, yeah, but I think we're guilty of doing that as well. I mean, some of the dresses that some of the women are wearing on board, and I'm doing double takes as well.
But the crew loved them, and the captain even let them onto his hallowed bridge.
You've got this constant current coming this way, and constant current coming down that way. So as the spring comes, this sea ice here all melts and the icebergs start to move. And then, of course, once they get there, they can't go much further south because they start getting pushed by the warm current that comes up here.
One of your colleagues was saying yesterday that you actually have to take a longer course in the summer because the ice is broken up.
Yeah.
It drifts down more.
Yeah, well, that's right. It says this is what the latest limit is. Every day I'll get the message in which tells me the maximum distance south it is.
The band are nocturnal creatures, a bit like bats, I suppose. They enjoyed exploring the ship in the wee small hours, and they had it all to themselves. One of their favourite rooms on board is the QE2's nursery, when the children are safely tucked up in bed.
It's built up through the years. I think that the way we work in the studio is to blame.
You're busting this.
I'm not. I didn't do that. I know you're going to think I didn't. It was like, it was virtually broken. It was one of those, look at the little bit that's on there. It's like hanging off. It's like, someone's going to go,
That was
and then swallow it.
flavoured toy, and you have
I've
destroyed it.
saved a child. Anyway, staying up all night.
There's a true deep friendship among the band that's very striking to outsiders. Although the press are forever portraying the Cure as dark, doom-laden and depressing, they're a genuinely unpretentious band who simply enjoy what they do.
And it still seems very fresh, what we do. Like when we were doing the Wish album, the whole process, it wasn't a kind of blasé, oh, here we are again making an album. There's like real genuine excitement each day in the studio. It's just sort of, I suppose it's because we're doing something which we consider to be creative.
The 5-day journey across the Atlantic is a chance for the band to unwind before their strenuous tour of America, and they get into the spirit of things.
I've waited hours for this, making myself so sick, I wish I'd stay asleep today. I never thought this day would end, never thought tonight would ever be this close to me.
Not all of the Cure made the Atlantic crossing by QE2. Boris and Paul opted to fly to the US, and the band were reunited in this New York bar for a slightly confusing press conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the Cure arrived this morning here on the QE2 and are kind enough to come by here and before the commencement of their 40-day U.S. tour to answer some questions.
Having sorted out who's who, time for the first sound check and a chance to put together a final running order. Cure fans in Britain have already seen the band perform material from the new album Wish, but it was a tour that very nearly didn't happen.
Yeah, well, originally we were just going to do one. We were going to do a warm-up date, because we haven't played on stage for about a year and a half. And we thought we'd better not just like arrive in America and step out in front of 30,000 people and just freeze and think, what do we do now?
No pre-concert nerves on the first night of the American tour, but a few reassuring hugs.
I mean, my eyesight's got so bad now that it's just like wallpaper. I didn't know if there was like 6,000, 60,000. But just playing to like some of the concerts are only about 1,700 or 1,800 people. You can see people, but it's actually, like I said, quite intimidating. Like, I'm not a very natural performer.
Signori, il momento